Hello, everybody. My name is Hadley Bajramovic. Today is March 10th, um, 2025, and we're now about 7 weeks, I don't know, 2 months into the Trump administration. And we found out today that through an announcement by the government that there is now an app, CBP Home, CBP Home, where you can register your intent to voluntarily depart the United States. And it's very interesting that the government is giving people the app that used to be CBP One. It looks very similar, uh, used by asylum seekers to request asylum interviews outside of the country. Um, Now you can use this app to announce, number one, who are you? So I suppose I could write in, my name is Hadley Bajramovic. And number two, I can tell CBP, I intend to depart the United States. And then you give your first name, your last name, date of birth, gender, which in this app is called sex. Oh my gosh. Is this an international phone number? You give a phone number, country of citizenship, country of destination, and an alien registration number. So then you can take your selfie and upload the selfie so they have a photo of you. And then they ask questions like, do you have enough money to depart the United States? And then, do you have an unexpired passport from your country? Um, it's bizarre. And then you submit to the CBP that information. Now, I have yet to understand, and maybe I'm slow. I've been accused of that before. I don't understand why anybody would do this. I don't know if it would stop a targeted removal effort against you, or what. Or I don't know what the reason is that you would submit this. It seems to go hand in hand with the new registration that is going. It was supposed to be effective February 28th, but I don't think anybody's figured out how to register. But the government is now making people criminally liable if they do not register and they're here in the United States without permission. So I've been getting my clients ready for it. We're going to figure out, how to advise people on it once we know how it works. But basically, everybody who's here without permission has to register. And the USCIS homepage lists groups that have already registered, like people like DACAs and people with TPS and people with certain processes pending where they've had to fingerprint are considered already registered. But I believe that's only a small percentage of the total people that are here undocumented. Um, we know that there are around 11 million. Nobody knows exactly how many. So millions and millions of people are going to be expected to register with this registration app. And, we can't advise them on the risk. We can't, just like with the CBP Home app, we don't know what the risk is. If you put your information in there, we don't know if you're calling eyes to you like, hey, here's my information, come find me. Or if it's saying, okay, I'm leaving on my own, you don't need to spend time looking for me. I don't know what it means yet. Too early, too soon. And we will find out. I know that locally in California, we were supposed to have a lot of enforcement efforts starting February 23rd. And I have heard isolated incidents of people being detained by ICE, mostly in grocery store parking lots. I don't know why ICE is choosing a grocery store parking lot for enforcement, but it seems to be like their preferred place right now. It might have something to do with the cameras in the parking lot and the vulnerability, like the people don't expect to be picked up while they're shopping at Walmart. Because I know that's always been a consideration for ICE. What's the easiest way to detain somebody without, being videoed or, aggravated or accosted by the family that, is around. So I started picking up people when they got in their cars in the morning to go to work and followed them down the road a couple blocks and then turned on the lights and pulled them over. So what we're seeing right now is parking lot enforcement. I know that people want to do something to protect themselves, and I guess CBP Home is offering one alternative, which is to let ICE know that you plan to depart. But for me, the most important way that you can protect yourself or plan or reduce your anxiety is to meet with an immigration attorney and talk to them about what to do if you're detained. And just planning reduces anxiety because you talk about all those things that you fear the most and what would happen in that moment, the things that you do have control over. For example, who to call. Make sure that the family members all know what to do if you call them from detention. Make sure the family members have the phone number for an attorney if you're detained so the attorney can take action. And attorneys can take action when people are detained. We can submit stays of removal with ICE. There's a Form I-246 stay of removal request. The fee is $155. It must be paid to the ICE office. If you're in my area, that is in downtown Los Angeles, in the federal building on Los Angeles and Temple. And you can request that you're not removed, and ICE can give you up to a year and put you in a supervision program. So an attorney can help you to prepare that. You can prepare the positive equities in your case to list them out in case you're detained. You know what to tell an ICE officer to help that ICE officer make the decision not to deport you that day. ICE officers have that discretion. If you're here unlawfully, and particularly if you're from Mexico, the ICE officer can decide to put you on the van to go to Tijuana or the closest port of entry, or ICE can put you in 240 removal proceedings to make applications in front of an immigration judge. If you have 10 years in the U.S., maybe children that would suffer extreme and unusual hardship, and you don't have serious criminality, then you would be eligible for cancellation of removal, for example. Some people are waiting for a child to turn 21 to adjust status. I mean, the judge could consider that. In that situation, though, I've got to be specific because if somebody's waiting for a child to turn 21 to adjust status, that means that individual has a legal entry. And an arriving alien is under the jurisdiction of a judge. The arriving alien must go to a 240 immigration proceeding and be given the opportunity to submit applications to remain in the U.S. So these are the types of things that lawyers will look at in your case, help you figure out what your plan will be if you're detained, how you can get in front of an immigration judge, if you're eligible to get in front of an immigration judge. There are many people who aren't eligible, namely people who have removal orders or expedited removal orders. And sometimes a lawyer can try to reopen a proceeding Not so easy to do if it's an expedited removal order. In fact, I don't know if that's been done. I haven't been able to do it, but maybe somebody who's smarter than I am out in the immigration world has been able to do it. But anyway, this type of talking and planning, it's like a Socratic method. You work things out. You figure out how you're going to handle things. If they happen, if you're detained in ICE enforcement. So I recommend first and foremost, always at every event, at every podcast, to find an immigration attorney and develop a relationship with that immigration attorney, especially if that immigration attorney can do something to help you to prevent your removal, or even to plan what to do if you're detained. So that's my soapbox I get on. That's my mantra. My office will start a contract beginning the 18th with the Consulate of Guatemala. So Zaire, who wasn't able to be with us here because she's in Guatemala and has connectivity issues, and I will be working with constituents of Guatemala that are in the U.S. and providing them with consultations at the consulate. And this weekend, I will be with the Consul Mobile in Paris, California, where we will be helping people in that area to figure out their immigration issues and doing just what I've been explaining to you, helping them plan, helping them to file applications that they have the ability to in advance to prevent a removal. But we had a case last week where we weren't able to prevent the removal because it went so fast. The individual was from El Salvador. So an attorney can't wave a magic wand and stop a removal, but as long as you can work with an attorney in advance and give them time. In this case, we didn't have time. This person was detained, and then the family came to us. So working these issues out before being detained is essential. So for this person, if they had hired us to file a motion to reopen a removal order, that person would not be detained. Well, most likely would not be detained. And that's something we can do in advance. If somebody has a removal order, we can try a motion to reopen and we can argue to the judge why the case should be reopened, and that'll prevent a removal if the motion is granted by the judge. So look out for this CBP Home app propaganda that's going to be coming your way soon. There'll probably be commercials about it. And if you want to know more and whether or not you should have to register on that app, please talk to me first. Talk to an immigration attorney. I don't know why there's a benefit to anybody to do this. It just might be a scare tactic. We just don't know yet. We don't know what to tell you yet. This just came out today. But thank you, everybody, for checking in with us on this podcast on how to interpret CBP Home. What is it for? Why should you register? Or why shouldn't you register? I don't know how to advise you yet, but as soon as we have more intel on it, we will let you know. Thank you, and have a great day, and please come back and hear us tomorrow. I believe we'll have another podcast, and maybe Thursday too. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.